Good morning. Let me adjust this just a tad. Welcome to today's continuing education. We'll get settled in my chair real good here. All right, I got lots going on today. I'm patriotic today. I'm wearing it's red, white, and blue, but it's all about, July 4th. I know you guys can't see the rest of it, but happy 4th, everybody. Be safe out there because those fireworks can be pretty dangerous. I'm seeing a whole lot of things. Who was it? I saw on the news somebody's car went up in smoke because there were kids in the car smoking where they had a lot of fireworks and the whole van went up in smoke because of So, great time of the year. Some places are really super dry, but it's a celebration of our anniversary. So, you guys are rocking it. If you're out someplace and you are being careful with your fireworks. Okay, so with that, whoops. Okay, we are going to talk about digestive issues. So digestive issues, oh my gosh, what is that, right? How many people do you know that are allergic to gluten, allergic to dairy, allergic? Okay, they can't have certain foods. Or they just simply have digestive problems, okay? And they don't know why. Well, let's kind of look at the digestive problem in the first place, or that issue. But first, this is my continuing education, and a little bit about me is my name's Diana Hinkle, and I thank you for joining me today. And I left a dental career after 30 years to pursue this journey of natural choices for our health and wellness, because I was blown away when I first discovered essential oils in the first place, because I had no idea what they were. Yes, I've heard of them, because in the dental world or any medical setting like that, you're going to hear or see or utilize something. But what I've found is everything out there is synthetic. So your chewing gum that's flavored, your lotions, your soaps, there's so many things out there that have a synthetic reproduction of an essential oil. Even in our medications, there's compounds that are specific to essential oils. They take the number one compound out, reproduce it synthetically. But what happens when they reproduce things synthetically for medication, it loses part of its attributes. So they have to give it fillers, and the fillers themselves are what causes the side effects in medication. So what we're talking about are the use of essential oils, because they are packed full of so much. And one bottle can do so many things. And yes, you can use them topically, you can use them aromatically, and you can have a response within 30 seconds. But when you use them aromatically, it's a very quickly, right? Because it's either you love the smell or you don't, right? That quick. But whether we smell or whether we put it on us topically, it still enters into the bloodstream. And it does that very, very quickly. So within 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, all of our cells have a positive effect from an essential oil. I know that sounds crazy, but it really does. And that 30-second rule, if you've got a toddler at home or you've got anybody that's kids sucking on a pacifier, put some peppermint, just a little bit of peppermint on the bottom of their feet, and wait 30 seconds and pull the pacifier out, not the kid, and smell the pacifier. It's that quick. It's amazing. If you're stressed out, essential oils are huge for helping us emotionally, especially if we're stressed out. And there is one other, and that is internal use. Now, there are a lot of controversy out there as far as internal use, but you have to know how to use your essential oils, and you really got to know that one drop goes a long way. Don't overdo it. Please make sure that you're only putting the adequate amount. So like with doTERRA, which is what I use, it's very potent. One drop in 4 fluid ounce of liquid is all you need. Okay, so remember that equation, 1 drop to 4 ounces. What is that? It's about a half a cup, or excuse me, 1 cup. So when you think about that, that's a lot, right? So to give you another idea, you also have to be careful of your hotter oils like oregano. Peppermint can be one too. And I heard Nicole Stevens tell us once, and she's a PhD science and all that science stuff. And she's like, if you take a 64-gallon tote, okay, or 64, yeah, the totes that you can buy. And you know how big that is. That's pretty good size, right? 64. Put water in it and add just one drop of oregano. It's still adequate enough to do its job. That is incredible. The first time I ever heard that, I was like, really? Because they realized that the oregano was so potent, they could not even have it in a petri dish next to everything else that they were for their experimentations. They had to completely separate it and put it on the other side of the room because it still was potent enough inside that petri dish to disrupt everything else they were doing. And so they were like, well, curiosity, let's see how much we can dilute this for it to still do its job. And they went as far as 64 gallons of water with 1 drop. That would still inhibit growth of bacterial and fungal and all those other good things, okay? It's amazing. So 1 drop goes a long way. When you're using something internally, don't overdo it. If you're doing a blend and or something specific for you, or if you're following a protocol, that's a different story. Then you're wanting to get on top of something. So educate yourself. It's important that you educate yourself. Plus, everything on the shelf out there is not the same as what you're getting from a respected company like doTERRA. Okay, doTERRA happens to be the most tested and the most trusted. And so when you think about that, if I'm using something as a medicinal for that medicinal value, I want to make sure it's medicinal and it's going to work for me consistently every single time. That's why that certified pure therapeutic grade, or CPTG, is so important for doTERRA, because that means quality for me and consistency in every single bottle that I ever purchase. Okay, plus I get to help other people somewhere else too. So let's talk more about the digestive system. Our body is ever changing, okay? It's ever changing because we get older. There's things that happen the older we get, right? When we're adolescent or we're getting into our teenage stage, our body starts changing. Our body is consistently changing, okay, to adapt. That is God's gift to us, right? But sometimes it doesn't work like it's supposed to. And so that's when things start happening. So how many of you realize that the digestive system is more than just your stomach? Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever thought about your gallbladder or your liver or your pancreas? All of that is part of your digestive system. And so if they're not up to par, your digestive system isn't up to par. And by the way, did you know that there's more neurotransmitters in your digestive system than in your brain up here? Now that's incredible, right? Because if you are thinking about gut health, It's super important, because if it's not healthy, the rest of us isn't healthy. Plus, it has to be healthy too, especially our blood-brain barrier. That's in place for many different reasons, okay? So we have a barrier to the brain that's to protect it. And there are some essential oils that will pass through the blood-brain barrier. Isn't that something? Okay, so let's look at, move some things around here. So let's look at this. Let's look at the digestive system in itself. So from the mouth all the way down to the digestive system. So what is it for? What is that digestive system supposed to do? It's supposed to break down your foods, right? So if it's not breaking down your foods correctly, or you don't have the enzymes needed or the acids needed to break down your foods, then we start having issues. We develop issues. Okay, so we've got to make sure that we are doing the correct thing and really looking at all this. We have to look at the whole picture, not just part of the picture. It's kind of like someone looking at, you know, they might start getting a rash on their skin. Well, why do they? Why are they getting a rash? What's it from? Let's look at the whole picture. Let's get to the bottom of it, right? And that's what essential oils do. They get to the root of the cause, to the root. So the digestive system in itself, when your body needs those, that secretion of acids and the enzymes and fiber, as well as good intestinal flora. So the flora in our digestive system, we have to have good flora, not just bad flora. A lot of us have too much bad, not enough good. So what that does is helps our body absorb the nutrients to get into the bloodstream, okay, to get to the blood. So deficiency in any of those can cause a great deal of distress, okay? So that's why we have to look at the whole thing and not just, why is my tummy upset, right? Now, of course, you go out and eat the wrong kind of food, or if you have something that just really didn't set well with you, that's a different story. Then there's some easy options. But on a long term, what are we doing to create a better environment and keep everything flowing and doing really well? So that means we have to think about the stomach. We have to think about the intestines. We have to think about the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas. All of that together. Okay. Plus, it's how our body, if our body's ability to break all this down, that's the waste. What's the waste? How's your waste coming out? Is it coming out decent every day, every other day, once a week? If you're only doing once a week, you've got a problem. That's important to know, because I know of people who have not had a doctor talk about their digestive issues and not going to the bathroom enough, not eliminating the waste. Waste is very toxic. And if it's in there too long, that can cause problems too. And there's things that people have, that surgeries that aren't necessary. And then they find out after the fact. So there is a product that doTERRA has called it's a PB Assist and a GX Assist. So those are probiotics. We have to have good flora, right? And by the way, if you'd like to know if your digestive system has too much of the bad flora, which is the candida, yes, it's called candida. You can look all that up. But what you can do is, first thing in the morning, don't drink anything, don't eat anything, but you take a glass of water, clear glass hopefully. And if you're on city water, you don't want to use that because it has a lot of chemicals in there. Okay, just use bottled water. Spit. Put some water in the cup and spit into get a whole bunch of spit and spit into the cup. Okay, it's a spit test. Okay, this isn't easy, just to find out if you've got anything going on. Leave it alone for about 20 minutes. And yes, you can Google this. You can find it on your phone or anywhere. Just Google spit test or candida spit test. And what you're going to do is when you come back, you want to have enough water in there, at least half a glass, okay? What is your spit doing? Is it floating on the surface, or does it have a whole lot of spider legs in there? If the more legs it has, the more candida you have going on. If it's just floating at the surface, pat yourself on the back because you're doing a really, really good job at balancing your digestive system. Right on. Love it. Okay. But if you've got a whole lot of strings, you need to clean up your digestive system. Okay. How do we do that? PB Assist and GX Assist is one way, or you can do a Google search. I love Google. Don't you love Google? We have so much at our fingertips anymore. There's a 30-day cleanse that you can Google on for doTERRA. So doTERRA has a specific protocol for a 30-day cleanse. And if you've never ever done a cleanse before, I suggest doing one because we all need it. It's kind of like maintaining your body. Just like you maintain a car. How often do you change the oil? Why do you do that? There's a reason. Okay, your body's the same way. Okay, we got to maintain it. All right. But the number one that I'm going to talk about is Zendocrine. Zendocrine in itself, there's an oil and there is a whole foods complex. Okay, these two go hand in hand together to help cleanse your body's organs. Now that includes your skin. How many of you thought of your skin lately? And how many things do you put on your skin? Are you wearing makeup every day, which has thousands of chemicals in it? By the way, I don't care if they say one way or another, there are chemicals in your makeup. Don't think that there's not. And there are like 13,000 of them. There's a large amount. So not saying don't do that. Just know that you've got to get rid of what's going and being absorbed into your body. Okay. This is a really great way of elimination. 30 days. Okay. And they're not hard. It's like, come on. This is not very big. Okay. All right. So that's whole foods. And I'm not going to, this is a blend of oils, but I definitely want to get through everything. And this has got clove in here, grapefruit, rosemary, geranium in here. Okay. And then in your whole foods is, do I really have to go through this? Yes, I do. Okay. There is the psyllium, okay, husk. There is rhubarb root. There's bayberry root. Now these are all like root based, okay, or bark based. Kelp, milk thistle. There is sunflower. There is, let's see, osha root, marshmallow root. There is dandelion root extract. And by the way, how many of you know that you can eat dandelions? How many of you have that out in your front yard? If you've ever, actually you can, but you want to get the dandelion leaves before they bloom. Otherwise they become very bitter, okay? Yes, I have eaten them. It's really good for you. There's garlic, red clover, and there's burdock root, and there's clove bud. How do you like that? So there's an enzyme support, which is amylase, cellulase, magnesium, yeast, and magnesium and manganese. There's two different things. Magnesium and M-A-N-G, okay, manganese, okay? That's what's in this one here. All right. So what that's going to do is filter. We're going to filter everything. We're going to go through and get rid of toxins, because if they're clogged up they're not going to do well. It's kind of like changing the oils. When you change the oil, you change the filter. Okay, we're going to get rid of all of that junk, sludge, right? That's what that's going to do. Now, another thing that I really consider taking is Terrazyme. This is digestive Terrazyme. So what this does is create the enzymes needed in your digestive tract to break down the foods so that it's absorbed, okay? All the nutrients are absorbed like they're supposed to be. Now, I experimented lately. I love doing experimenting. I have a gentleman that in conversation, he had these blood tests done. He can't do this, can't eat that, can't eat that. I'm like, oh, that's sad. I'm like, wait, hey, do you want to try something? He goes, sure, I'm game. So I gave him Terrazyme. I said, so when you decide that you want to have some ice cream one night and you're just craving it, take your Terrazyme first. And I gave him 3. Because this is, he already knows he has a problem, right, going in. So I'll take 3 of these first and then eat your ice cream. And then tell me how you feel after. He never felt anything. So that ever-changing body now had something to help him break down the food, which is what his body said, no, I really don't want that. So it created inflammation because the body couldn't break it down. That Terrazyme makes a difference. I take this every day, whether I think I need it or not, because I do need it. I need to break down my foods. I want to absorb the nutrients. And I need to eat better too. I think most of us do. But that's a different story. Okay. So what makes this super easy? We already know that we're going to cleanse out the body. We're going to do a spit test if that's what you want to do. And then we're going to use the Terrazyme on a daily basis. But what if I'm just, oh my gosh, I'm having a problem right now, right? What do I do? Well, that's super easy. We have an oil called Digest Zen. Okay, this is another blend from doTERRA. It has ginger, it has peppermint, caraway, coriander, anise, tarragon, and fennel. Okay, in that order. So if you like the smell of black licorice, you'll love this. If you don't, you won't love this unless you really need it. What you can do, how you can use this is just rub it topically on your tummy, but when you're rubbing it on, you want to rub clockwise because that's the way our digestive system moves, clockwise. So we want to keep everything flowing in the right direction. So that's clockwise. Remember that 30-second rule? That's this, okay? Now, there are 2 other delivery methods. One is doTERRA gave us a soft gel. Yeah. So if you don't want to smell like fennel for the rest of the day, because you will, okay, or at least most of the day, take a soft gel internally. Now this has got coconut oil in it with it, okay? And so it's scientifically created, no different than anything else that's out there on the shelf. Take this internally, and you can take 1 or 2, your option, right? How bad do you feel? Take 1. If you need another one, take another one. There's still 30 seconds, but what happens when you start putting things through the digestive system, it takes a little bit longer because the stomach has to break it down, right? And then it does what it needs to. That's why if you really want quick relief, the oil works better. You can also put it on your feet, and then it won't smell as bad for the rest of the day, and it still gets to where it needs to go. Okay, there's still a 30-second rule. Remember I said the infant with the pacifier, try the peppermint. And then another way is there's a digestive tablet, okay? So how many of you are familiar with Tums? Okay, well, this is on the same level. It's great. So the fennel is really, this is really good for digestion. And you can take 1, you can chew up 1 or 2 because these are chewable. And it has the same ingredients as the Digestive oil. This is just a faster delivery method, okay? Within 10 minutes, you should Within 5 to 10 minutes, you should feel much better. Another option is peppermint. Peppermint. Peppermint's good for so many things. So for digestive issues, there again, you can just rub some on your tummy. Now you have to be careful because peppermint for some people is a little bit of a warming oil. So please be careful about that. And if you are, please use a carrier oil. Carrier oil can be fractionated coconut oil, can be olive oil, can be any of those, right? And so when you're looking at something that you might be sensitive to, please always put a carrier oil with it. It'll actually even work better for you. But if I'm feeling nauseous, all I have to do is take the lid off first, take a deep breath, and smell, because that's the best way and fastest way for your body to respond. I actually did this for someone in an airport a long time ago, and I overheard, it was a crowded airport, I overheard her conversation. It was like, I couldn't help but overhear, but would you like to try something? And so I let her smell this. And then we kept talking. And then all of a sudden, a few minutes later, she's like, oh, my tummy doesn't feel bad anymore. That's amazing. And it's like, what is that? We've been friends ever since, right? And then she gave away the sample I gave her, because she got her plane and went her way and I went my way. Well, she ended up giving that sample to another gentleman on the plane who had a wife going through cancer and was having a really hard time with the nausea. And so she gave that bottle to him. See, you never know who's going to benefit one way or another from what we have. I'll never know that person, but at least I know he took something home. And I hope that he gave hope to his wife. Here you go, try this, right? That's what this is about. Let's give hope to people. There is another one, juniper berry is another one for digestive upset, if that's something that you're looking for. This might be something you like more than peppermint, but peppermint seems to be, or ginger even. Ginger is really good for upset stomach. So see, juniper berry, I probably wouldn't, but I would use this topically. This is not meant for internal consumption, okay? You have hospitals that are starting to add things like peppermint and ginger to smell aromatically for people to help their nausea instead of a shot. What's easier? Smell peppermint or get a shot, okay? So those are things that you want to really keep in mind. We have more and more doctors coming on board. And besides that, doTERRA needs those doctors. We have Prime Meridian. We have facilities that are starting. We have a complete new integrated facility that's opening in Pleasant Grove, Utah this summer. I'm super excited about that because that's the first one. There's going to be many others. So if you're looking for something or a company that's actually all about your wellness, not about just product, but about your wellness, then this is something that I really would like you to look into, because we are the future is way out there. If you can dream it, doTERRA is dreaming it bigger, okay? So think about your digestive system. Think about all the things that you're doing with it. Think about what you're actually doing for it. Are you cleaning it up? Do you want to clean it up? Do you want to get better? Do you want to be more, have that gut that is better? Then these are phenomenal products that you can try, okay? And I know that they work. And that's what I like, is knowing that what I use does work, okay? So I've been doing this for a long time now. It's been very gratifying. I really love the people that I meet along the way and the people that I get to help along the way. And that's what keeps me going every single day that I get up, that there's going to be somebody that I meet that will need something. It might not be that simple as digestive issues, but I at least have something that they can look at and it's a choice. The choice is yours as to whether or not you want to create a different lifestyle, because that's what this is all about, is creating a different lifestyle and looking at your options for wellness. And even if you think that, oh, I'm perfectly fine, I'm well, what does that really mean? Because you eat healthy, because you're not going to a doctor, because you don't have a prescription? What classifies you as being well? Because aren't most of us that are well, okay, that wellness, if we start feeling bad, we end up going to the doctor, and then they tell you that you have some catastrophic issue. And you're like, where the heck did that come from, right? But you were well all this time. It happens every day. Be proactive about your health, because it really is being proactive and what you can give your body, and then help your organs work well along the way. So if you are looking at this video and the recording, the replay, thank you for that. And if someone shared this replay with you, ask them how you can get these products in your home for the best price. We have a generous program, and you can simply be a wholesale customer and get the same price I do. Simple. And we have a phenomenal rewards program if that's something you're looking for. So you guys have a great day. And we're going to create something different. So we're going to start switching over from Monday mornings at 9. This is normally what happens every Monday morning at 9. We're going to transfer over to the Golden Drop, which is every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. So I'm going to partner up with Sharon McDonald and Jason and everybody else and rotate into the Golden Drop, so that we are all looking at this together, and everybody has a lot of knowledge, right? We all have knowledge, and so let's put all this together. So you're going to get information. I will actually put you guys over, those of you that are in my Remind system, I will put you over into the Golden Drop. And so probably next week, but you'll be notified as to for sure when that's going to happen or take place, that we will transfer over from Mondays to Wednesdays. So that's exciting in itself. And yes, you'll still get recordings, you'll still get the replay. All right, so you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Be safe out there. Happy 4th of July. And thank you for those that have served our country and helped us with our independence. Thanks, everybody.